Here I go again, heading for a heartache. Should I count to 10 or close my eyes? Even if I tried to hide, he'd find me.
Hello, my name is Clare Donohue. I'm a jazz singer, and as you can hear, I'm not from the South. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, but very, very grateful to be here in the land of kindness, the South, and a burgeoning city, Chattanooga. I just recorded my second CD here with Towson, England, and Stephen Powers, and it's entitled Here I Go Again, The Songs That Saved Me. And, well, they were really about the songstresses, and Frank Sinatra too, because I think he transcends gender. Phoebe Snow, all my influences. It was kind of paying tribute to all my influences. A lot of people say to me, Claire, how come you don't have any originals? Most of my life I spent singing a lot of originals and other people's material all the time. So since I arrived here in Chattanooga, I've been able to, I just wanted to sing the songs I loved. I've kind of gotten that out of my system. I'm going to be recording in Nashville very soon, and then in Vermont with Joe Leone, and we're going to focus on more originals then. But I am recording a local artist here, Kyle McCallum's Beach Town. That will be on the CD. 18 songs it is. But it's amazing. Some Phoebe Snow, Sarah Vaughan, all the gods to me, goddesses. Keely Smith, Billie Holiday, Sarah Vaughan. Did I say that? Because Sarah Vaughan deserves maybe triple play. Well, I also want to mention that I was 17, I think, when I had my first lesson. Of course, you know, my parents wanted me to go into anything but music, so I went to college and majored in business. Kind of a tragedy. Left after about 2 years and married a musician, Mitch Glider. And I remember where I was standing and what I was wearing when I first heard Billie Holiday. She changed the landscape of my life and of music. First of all, I heard so much pain in her voice, and I felt like, oh my God, somebody else knows what this feels like. You know, growing up in an alcoholic home, there's a lot of pain. And but great pain makes great music. Just here in the South, a lot of repression makes for great music and interesting bedfellows. So Billie Holiday really got me started in classic traditional jazz. Even though she was really a blues singer, but yeah, people consider her blues jazz. Later on, as my chops developed a little, Joni Mitchell from her album Shine was talking about the earth and her Shadows and Light tour and her work with Jocko and so many great players, Pat Metheny. I put on this CD Bad Dreams. I don't know, I had real chutzpah or moxie, thinking I could do with just a guitar and vocal, Bad Dreams, but I think the message was so important about the earth, what we're doing to the earth, you know. Right here, today, as we're making this video documentary, you know, South Dakota and Standing Rock, what's going on there is pretty tragic, and where I am, up on Lookout Mountain, there's a lot of farmers, there's a lot of land, and right in my backyard there's a lake that's dried up. There's fires up in Alabama, 17 miles from where I live. So I think that was an important message that I wanted to reiterate Joni's song. Whoever I know who hears my CD can maybe broaden the audience for what she's saying. 3 artists I pay tribute to, and I'm going to mention them together for a reason. Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, and Frank Sinatra. I heard a story, and I assume it's true because I believe Ella Fitzgerald put it on a documentary, that they had a hard time hiring Ella Fitzgerald and certainly putting her on TV in America because of the, you know, racism that existed and still does, but it was much worse back then. And Frank Sinatra really pushed for that. Marilyn Monroe also, I heard, you probably know the story, many of you who love jazz, that Marilyn Monroe insisted Ella Fitzgerald, if they booked her in that club, she came and sat every night in the front row. And that drew a lot of attention, and Ella was very grateful for that. Ella Fitzgerald, my God, other than Billie Holiday, and Ella Fitzgerald had such a major, major influence on me. Also Doris Day, and I think that says a lot about me. Billie Holiday and Doris Day. All my heroes were always African American. And some sad stories. Billie and Doris really experienced a lot of suffering too, especially in the music industry. And I felt those two had more in common than anybody really knew, but just one was a white example and one was a black example. But they were women that suffered and put it in their music. Well, actually, Billie did. Doris kind of made it funny tragedy, you know. But I am a card-carrying member of this Doris Day Animal League to this day. Frank, so that's why I pay tribute to Frank. Also, he's the master of phrasing, you know. When I try to sing Frank Sinatra songs, I have trouble with the range. I mean, I don't know how he did it. Old Blue Eyes was amazing. If you ever try and sing one of his songs, you'll know just how amazing he is.
Here I go again, heading for a heartache.
I also recorded Mad Me by Patty Carter, Tuck and Patty. I saw Tuck and Patty in the Bottom Line in New York. And Patty, like so many of us with oral fixation singers, was about 300 pounds. And when this woman got on stage and sang about her high-heeled shoes, I remember the date I was with, that she was the sexiest woman in the room. She had such confidence, knew how to use it or lose it. I had a terrible eating disorder at the time and was trying to, of course, hide it. And that gave me a lot of hope, the way she, so she recorded this song, Mad Me, talking about how artists are crazy. We're all crazy. You know, I remember Jack Nicholson being on a television show one night saying, we're mad. We go into something that so few people make it at, and we devote our lives to it, and we know we're going to be poor, pretty much, most of us. But we believe in it so much. It's against all odds. It's against all reasoning. But if it's in your heart, you got to do it. You got to be true. Phoebe Snow, Harpo's Blues. I mean, I hate to be a grown-up. I hate to be a grown-up and have to try to bear my life in pain. I mean, Phoebe had a really interesting, tough life. Disabled daughter, and I think she gave up a lot of her singing and touring to take care of it. She was a true, amazing woman. One of the finest singers ever. She didn't get really acknowledged too much in pop. She wasn't pretty. She was black. I think she was a lesbian as well. So, you know, it was very hard for her to fit into the pop and culture of beauty. But she was amazing. She wrote Harpo's Blues. One of the best written songs expressing the soul of an artist, the heart and soul of an artist. How we're children. We're really children inside. We have to keep that balance, operate during the day as adults, but we have to keep that child alive in order for us to be creative in that creative art state, like Picasso. It took me all this time to get back to when I was 5 years old. I recorded, you know, instead of my usual genre of 1940s jazz, some pop songs, Harpo's Blues, Cold Shot by Stevie Ray Vaughan, and what else? Stevie Winwood, Can't Find My Way Back Home. And I think because I wanted to sing some of these songs. I never got to sing a lot of pop songs, or at least they were somebody else's. These were songs I really wanted to sing, and I picked every one of those pop songs for a specific reason. It really talks about they touch me and they related to me. I can relate to those songs. They speak about my life as well. Can't Find My Way Back Home was coming here after pretty much losing everything in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and having to start over in the South. And whenever I opened my mouth as a Yankee, I was charged twice the amount. You know, people make assumptions, and those assumptions really aren't true. But I guess that's true for everybody, every minority for sure. And I was really homesick. You know, they say the older you are, the more you want to be back home. Not that I can afford to ever live in New York again, but I hope someday, maybe. Brooklyn, my home. And so Can't Find My Way Back Home talks about not being able to find your way back home. You know? And that's how I felt. I just can't see myself getting back home. The title track is Here I Go Again. And that is a piece, an unfinished piece by Cy Coleman. I was very fortunate enough to have as my first professional vocal coach, Fred Silver, the audition doctor from Billboard magazine. He had retired to Florida, and that's where I was at the time in Fort Lauderdale. And he took me in because I was a Brooklyn kid, and he was a Brooklyn kid who didn't really believe in himself as much. And I wanted to sing like Sarah Brightman, and he said, "Shut up, kid," which is how we talk in Brooklyn. "You're a good jazz singer. I'm going to pick the songs for you." So Cy Coleman, who is kind of like a master of syncopation, Here I Go Again, Fred worked with Cy Coleman and said, this is an unfinished piece of his. So Stephen Powers and I kind of played with this song for months to come up with an arrangement that was kind of jazzy instead of this movie time syncopation. He wrote a lot for movies, so that piece has never been released, and I think that's kind of interesting. Here I Go Again, and it's my second CD, so here I go again. So how it all came together, this was not supposed to be a CD. This was supposed to be a 10-song demo targeting Stephen and I getting some more work, which is why we did some popular songs, or traditional 1940s classic jazz, which is what I'm kind of known for, and maybe some weddings, cocktail hours, things like that. When I listened to it, it wound up being my Ella and Joe Pass, Tuck and Patty kind of. I said, why don't I release this as a CD? Stephen Powers is an amazing guitarist who spent a lot of time in New Orleans, went to the University of New Orleans and played on the streets of New Orleans, came back home to chat, as a lot of people do because it's a sweet small city with very low crime. So that's how it came together. Here I go again. Here I go again, heading for a heartache. Should I count to 10 or close my eyes? Even if I tried to hide, he'd find me, sneak up right behind me.
Here I go again, heading for a heartache. Should I count to 10 or close my eyes? Even if I try